farm to express solidarity with him. In the company of the governor of the region, Lamin Queen Jame, we drove to Ngien in the Sabah Sanjal district, where Sefo Said Gay proudly displays a 14-hectare groundnut and maize fields and an additional 2 hectares of kus cultivated for the Gambian leader. But these I later came to find out were part of many other fields he owned. He openly admits that the tractor he received from the president together with his colleagues has helped increase production in his farms exponentially and brave him to explore other fields he dare not took on with mere horses and manual attributes. This year, as a matter of fact, has all been different. He tells a story all too rare before 1994. It is for him a complete transformation to have fully adjusted to the mechanized system of agriculture as promoted by the Gambian leader, who was again at the forefront of efforts assisting farmers through the worst part of the last season's poor harvest. He is today praised for that in this part of the country. They have now passed through a very difficult period which required precise coping strategies in many households in rural Gambia, says Sefo Said Gay, in presenting the worst-case scenario for the situation that impelled government to declare severe crop failure for the 2011 season. But there is room to make up for lost time, and as a result of last year's experience, the chief said farmers in his district are determined to register success in this campaign. Among the farms visited were that of Kerser Tal in the central Baribu district and that of the deputy governor of the North Bank region, who has kus, maize and groundnut fields cultivated for the president. We also visited the thriving settlement of Kirjarga in the Jokaru district, where Chief Alhaji Jim Fatma Diop is spearheading a well-coordinated response to the president's clarion call. His fields are vast and his cultivation diverse, ranging from groundnut to kus, sorghum to maize. A number of them belong to the president, whom he considers as a great patron of the farming community. The visit to Kirjarga closes one chapter only to open another in our trek up country, for we have now entered the Central River region and touring what is again a great promise for the country's food stores. Reporting the fields of CRR, I am Abdul Jai.
The National Conference on Early Grade Reading, convened by the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, is underway at a local hotel. The two-day forum seeks to raise awareness of the importance of early grade reading abilities of pupils. Officials are also trying to diagnose the challenges associated with reading at this level as a basis for appropriate policy interventions. Samuel Barr reports.
Research has shown that children's inability to read at lower grades results to poor performance in virtually all subjects throughout their educational career. The Gambia, being no exception to this observable fact, is already taking giant steps in raising the profile of early grade literacy. The National Conference on Early Grade Reading, convened by the Basic and Secondary Education Ministry, brought together stakeholders of the ministry and development partners to dialogue and build networks and partnerships in defining a country strategy for the enhancement of the scope and quality of reading levels in the country. The genesis of early grade reading, according to the ministry's top technocrat, dates back to 2007, when the need to advance reading fluency was felt based on observations reached at.
Yes, it started in 2007. And what triggered it? It was when we walked into a classroom in URR. And it's not a classroom in the primary school, but it was a classroom in the upper basic school, grade 7 for that matter. We thought we could find out what the problem of reading was, and expecting that perhaps we will only find out that few of the grade 7 students had difficulty in reading. But it was shocking. In that grade 7 class, the minister was in one half of the class, I was in the other half. We tested virtually everybody. Less than 5 of them in a class of over 40 kids were able to read the passage that they had in front of them.
It is those challenges, poor and unacceptable results from the baseline assessment of 2007 that spurred education officials to map out a variety of interventions as a means of addressing early grade reading inabilities.
The conference has come at a time when research findings from reading have consistently linked the importance of early literacy skills to later academic achievement. Evidence from several countries indicates that early graders with low reading abilities tend to underperform in all subjects for the rest of their schooling years. Hence, the acquisition of early grade literacy skills has been on top of our ministry's agenda, with support provided to a variety of interventions following the unacceptable results from the baseline assessment in 2007.
The results of the varied interventions have been gratifying though, as highlighted in these presentations on the integration between national languages and early grade literacy skills. However, officials believe that a lot more needs to be done in ensuring that every child reads fluently with comprehension, hence the theme, The Gambia Reads.
Compared to the comparison group, it's much better, and also if you look at the EGRA result, it's also comparably much better. And don't forget that this program, there were 2 books that's designed for the program period, but it wasn't really completed. And it was because of all the timing issue and choosing of the students and shifting problems. So the actual exposure, students' actual exposure to the program are less than we have hoped for. But I think from that, the result shows something.
This information sharing platform is expected to expose participants to information on existing practices and interventions, with results and challenges thereof in order to generate conclusions that guarantee the attainment of reading fluency and comprehension at the end of grade 2 by 2015. Samuel Ba, GRTS.
That report by Samuel Ba takes us to our first break. We'll be back with stories from outside the Gambia. South Africa's firebrand politician and former ANC Youth League leader has been charged with money laundering by a South African court. Julius Malema denied the charges, calling the move as an attempt to silence him. Thousands of youths held rallies to show their support for the vibrant youth leader. Details in this CFI report.
This resembles a political meeting, but these supporters of Julius Malema are rallying behind the former leader of the ANC Youth League, who was charged on Wednesday with money laundering by the South African court. A warrant for his arrest was issued last week, and the hasty trial leads his supporters to believe that his sworn enemy, President Jacob Zuma, was behind his arrest.
In South Africa, a banana republic being next to Julius Malema is a criminal offense. You get charged for that. These charges which they've brought against me, they will not affect me in any way.
Suspicions arose over Mr. Malema's luxurious lifestyle, which included a farm and an expensive automobile. Mr. Malema was accused not only of money laundering, but of fraud and corruption. He is charged with receiving kickbacks from business partners to whom he awarded lucrative government contracts in his home province of Limpopo. Supporters from around the country rallied to his defense on Wednesday.
This is politically motivated. You just have to think about it. If Julius was really corrupt as they are portraying to be, why didn't they bring up these charges a long time ago? Why now?
Julius Malema, who was excluded from the ANC in April for his virulent attacks on the party, has become a thorn in the side of the government,